Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ninth Live. Today is April 16th, the G Earth, High Water, the Boar Day. And now is Jiawood, Shu Earth, Hour, the dog. Any question before starting the cyclic aspect of the Yun that I prepared for today? When you determine the hour pillars, do you use solar time or a time zone? I live near Washington, D.C., so would I use EST zone? Sure, the EST zone. And now it is a daylight saving time, so I usually -1 from the time we have. It is 7:30, so actually the real time is 6:30 p.m. right now in the Eastern time. So it is not the dog time yet. It is still the rooster. Okay. For those traveling to a new time zone, do you use the hour for the new time zone immediately? Or is there a lag time where the body acclimate before you start using it? Oh, that's a good question. I think there's a time lag. Yeah. I think our body cannot really adjust immediately. There should be some times need. So that's why the jet lag happens. Our body cannot really adjust to it. But in my mind, I immediately use the new time zone. That's my way to do that. And it is really interesting if we communicate with somebody who are different time zone from mine. For example, in Korea, the Korea now is not the 16th, it's already 17th there. In Singapore as well. So it is kind of two different time zones are overlapping. But I still use my time zone for me and then their time zone for them. A lot of the online calculators use solar time, not time zones, for the hour. It is controversial. Some scholars use the time of Asia. Some scholars use time of China. Some scholars use time of Korea. They said we have to transfer the time of the Asia and then we have to use their time. But it doesn't really make sense for me. So using time zone is the right way. Where time zone are you? I'm in the Eastern US time zone. So I use same time zone as Jamie. Is the right pronunciation, Jamie? Any other questions? Time zone is really interesting. It takes time to really calculate the right time in chart reading. Are you a doctor? I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine. I'm a doctor of science in Oriental medicine. So I'm acupuncturist and the herbalist. All right, let's start a cyclic aspect of the Yun. I will focus more on favorable or unfavorable because many people misunderstand what is favorable and what is unfavorable. And then people used to think when a good time, like good luck, favorable time, everything will go well. And then I don't need to do anything, like I don't need to put any effort. And then some like great fortune is coming to me for free. And some people think like in unfavorable time, like a bad luck time, I will lose everything, like like that kind of mindset. But actually it is not. We will talk more about that. And Diana, how do you combine with this? You mean this with the acupuncture treatment or herbal treatment in practice? I use the 5 elemental energy. You will know when I keep talking about what is the dominant energy, what is not, what is deficient, what is excess. Those pattern that is used in Oriental medicine, that principles are used in this study. Same knowledge, same study, same way, same principle, but in a different way. So it's a long story that if I explain from A to Z. But please watch my first 5 videos in my YouTube channel. I explained really simple way about how to look at the organ's power, organ's weakness, like that. There are a lot of things to really study. And Alex, does the 2 branches have to be right next to each other to make a clash? 100% clash should be just right next to each other. And it is like weekly flow, right? It is in the weekly flow about the clash. So it was the Wednesday's energy versus Friday's energy. Wednesday, there were a clash between the monkey and the tiger. but it was quite far. It is not direct clash. So the dragon could be the buffer between them. The monkey and the tiger's opinions could be different. They are kind of trying to make an argument. Like, for example, my mother and my father, my mother and my father's opinions could be really different and opposite to each other on Wednesday. But because of the dragon, which means because of that child, they kind of stop fighting. They stop fighting. So the dragon can be buffer or temporarily stop the clash. So it is remained as more like a desire for clash, but not exactly make an argument. But if next to each other, like Friday, the dog and dragon make a clash, create a clash, so there's no buffer between them. But even though it is like far from each other or close to each other, the desire is always there to make a clash. Just keep in mind on that. So you use Batza to determine the constitutional factor for acupuncture. Yes, I do. The weakness or strength of the organs. And then I compare the strength between them. Or are you using chrono acupuncture using the... Okay. Chrono acupuncture is quite interesting area. I sometimes use, but not right now. Like not in normal practice. I used to try the chrono acupuncture when I was in school. It is good to try, yeah. But mostly I use the Batza chart for real deep problem, real deep issue of the health. It could be like metal and like for example the Friday's energy. There is like a clash between earth. So earth means stomach and spleen, simply saying. Stomach channel or spleen channel or stomach and like any kind of digestive system energy could make a clash, but it doesn't really show as a digestive problem. It does not really reveal as a digestive problem. Like in Batza, we saw, oh, it is a earth. So earth organs should be something. There is something going on in earth, but the patient complains about other kind of symptoms. So I try to diagnose what patients complain, and at the same time, I try to look at the chart. What is the real problem behind the symptoms? Are you also a student or practitioner in this field, Jamie or Diana? Seems like Jamie, you are the acupuncturist, I think, or student. Okay. Yeah, let's come back to this. I will show you guys one picture. This is quite blurry. It is a stock chart. I just pulled a random company. Cannot say which company, but this is the stock chart of certain company. And then let's assume we are on the red dot. When we go up, the price of the company, the value of the company goes up. When it goes down, people usually lose money with that. So let's assume we are now here. What if we know the price of the stock will be dropped in next few days? Will this be a preferable time or favorable time or not favorable time? It is a good luck or not? Anyway, it will be dropped. So should I have to care about losing my money here? So should I sell the stock today? Let's zoom out this graph a little bit. So this was the first view. This was the first perspective, the previous graph. And now we zoom out a little bit. Now we'll be able to know the stock price will increase like that. It will be dropped and then will be increased again. So the moment of the red dot, is it a good time or a bad time? People say, look, okay, now I'm going into my unfavorable time. So when is my good time? Like people always ask about that. When is my good time? When do I get money? Like that kind of question. So this is a good time or bad time? Should we sell this stock here or not? Should we sell it on this red dot and then buy again in the lowest point? That'll be the best decision. And this works in the same field in acupuncture treatment as well. Sometimes certain organs' energy increases a lot. It looks like excess and suddenly dropped in a deficient mode. And then we have to figure out that deficiency is the real or not. It could be temporary like that, just dropped and then increase again. That's why I try to look at the chart as the deep root. Let's zoom out more and look at the past. So we look at here, but when you look at the past, it started from here. The stock was really increasing right now. It goes up and down, but so no matter how much it will be dropped or increase it from the red dot, this box is at least much higher than the past. So do we have to be afraid of losing this amount of money, or thinking about how much I earned from here? When we only look at here, we just worry about here. We just worry about this, how much I will lose. So the situation may not good. But if we do not forget about the past, we could realize this situation is not that bad, right? Can we zoom out a little more? How about this? Now we can realize that this red dot is higher than here, but similar to this side, or lower than this highest point here. So now we can see it was just a repeatable up and down pattern. So if we already know about this pattern in stock market, we might already sell out stock here and purchase them here, right? That will be really easy to make money if we know the moment that the stock is dropped or increased. However, what I want to try to focus on today is that depending on our perspective, our life can be better or worse, or at least our life can be filled as a better moment or the worst moment, depending on our perspective. And there are many layers that can determine the time is favorable or not, favorable energy or not for me. So let's come back to the first graph. It was pretty much zoomed in chart, right? We can say this is a like daily chart, daily view like that. Some people might really care about up and down movement here, small up and down, very sensitive. And some people might only worry about this dropping moment and feel very frustrating because of this drop. But some people might understand this dropping is only temporary moment, and the situation will be better here. So some people might be ready for this moment. Like how? Like saving more money here for this moment. Take all the, like sell all the stocks and transfer that into my cash flow, and then be ready for this moment, right? And then buy all the stocks here. And if the graph is like, for example, my self-respect, like friendship spirit or mother spirit, that could be like self-respect, 10 spirits. So if we assume this graph is all about my self-respect, some people might be able to realize my self-ego, my self-respect will be decreased here. So we have to prepare for that. For example, like study more or exercise more, cultivate myself more instead of just complaining why my self-respect is dropping here. And if this is a wealth, if this is a wealth spirit, we talk about stock as a money. If we think this one as a wealth spirit, some people might save more money here, as we said, instead of just complaining why my money is decreasing. Or if somebody realize, oh, I have a lot comparing with this moment. Actually, I have a lot, so I don't care about this dropping. So not really care about losing little amount of something here, whatever this is, self-respect, this is like wealth, whatever that is. Some people might not really care about that, or just satisfied with something that I have right now and just be thankful for that. Or some people might understand the bigger pattern, bigger cycle, and just accept this flow of the season. Like I said, usually 6 years are my preferable energy, and another 6 years are not my favorable energy. So 6 that supports my chart or not. So therefore, if you understand those flow, now you can prepare for this moment and not really worrying about that or complaining about this moment, because you will know your flow will be changing soon, at least 6 years later. Yeah, sometimes we can meet this kind of graph, the bigger flow. See, this was small flow pattern. But if we know bigger flow, biggest flow, like the Great Life Fortune, the 10 luck cycle, which I said Da Yun. Anyway, this stock chart, this stock has been increased a lot. It has an up and down a lot, but eventually it will be increased. So which point you purchase this stock here or here or here, here. Whenever you purchased, we can earn a lot of money here, right? So my point is purchasing this stock anytime here and being ready for dropping moment could be much more important than feeling frustrated about the decreasing moment of very small moment like here. Again, if we consider this graph as a my self-respect, such as friendship spirit or mother spirit, losing my self-respect little bit here could be nothing comparing with here. could not be very important situation maybe if we understand the bigger flow of our life. And if this is a wealth spirit graph, amount of the money I have, losing this amount of money, or even losing this amount of money could be nothing comparing with this amount of wealth. So my point is how much I am preparing for the moment that I'm dreaming for. In terms of preparing means in terms of saving my resources, earning for getting more knowledge, doing exercise and getting healthier, and making a good relationship with people around you, or just saving my money. That is all about the preparing. However, the people we are used to be very vulnerable, so easy to get hurt. Only with this amount of small influence. That's us, but we have to try to understand the bigger cycle. But I'm not talking about like bigger cycle is always more important. At least we'll be not that frustrated. Okay, you're veterinarian and also do acupuncture on animals. Wow, that's great. Diana, you're a doctor. Okay, welcome. So let's apply this in our study of Bata. These are the daily flow of last week and next week. Today is April 16th. I will just erase the heavenly stem for now. When I talk about the seasonal aspect, the earthly branches are more important. The 12 days are 12 branches of our day. And you know this, right? Which one is the wood season, which one is fire season? Yeah, so tiger to dragon is wood, snake to goat is our fire, monkey to dog, our metal, the boar, pig, to the ox will be the water. And then it will repeat after. And when I just draw the graph, like sine graph like that, so wood, fire, metal to water, this is only 5 element flow. Up, down doesn't mean good or bad. It just means yin and yang. When it goes up as a wood fire, that is a yang time. And then when it goes to the downside, that means it is a yin time. Yin days, 6 days, and yang days for 6 days. So there are always 6 days for yang, 6 days for yin. And 12 days are one cycle. And this is the weekly flow I create every week. That's showing this flow basically. So it is quite a small flow, but it is good to know each day. If we zoom out those 12-day cycle, we can think 1 month as this, like these 12-day cycle, 12-day cycle here, and 12-day cycle here. 12 days for one cycle, and 2.5 cycles compose 1 month. A month doesn't always start from the wood. It is just a simplified example. In April, doesn't start from the wood as well. So in this case, this month, in 30 days, there are more yang days, right? 6, 6, 6. So total 18 yang days and total 12 yin days. And next month might be from 6 yin days, so maybe 18 yin and 12 yang. So yin days would be more than yang days next month. And if we look at like monthly flow like this, 1 month has more yang and next month has more yin and next month has more yang. Alternately, more yang and more yin month by month. Of course, the February is 28 or 29 days, but let's just simplifying the example as 30 days. If we consider these monthly flow starting from the inwood tiger, like this, the yin and yang line might be like this. So tiger to goat should be the yang. So we can understand in this 6 yang month, we are now here, April, dragon. We are in the yang month. There are many up and down of yin and yang days here. These 6 months are whole yang month, but there are yang days and yin days, yang days and yin days, like that. Yeah, I will just go more and more like that. And if we extend this to 1 year, we will know 6 months will be yang month, right? 6 months, February to July will be the yang month, as we said. And the 6th month will be the yin month. August to January will be the yin, metal, water, yin. Again, I erased the heavenly stem because the earthly branches of each month are same for every year. April is always dragon month every year. September is always monkey. And heavenly stems are different. So if we consider this as a 1 year cycle. 6 months are yang, 6 months are yin. What if we draw 12 years? This is 12-year cycle. So each year has 6 months yang, 6 months yin. Each year has the rabbit year 2011, 6 months yang, 6 months yin. No different. It is like repeated pattern for every year. So first half of each year will be always yang month. Later half of each year will be always yin month. And can you guys guess what I will do? If we consider the bigger flow of whole 12 years, 6 years are always wood fire yang, and 6 years are always metal water yin. So let's start from 2022 again because it is this year. From 2022, the wood year starts, tiger wood, and wood fire yang years for 6 years starts from this year, 2022. And from 2028, the metal water in 6 years will start. So we can see even though those are wood fire yang years, there are many in month, right? There are half of each year are at least in month. And even though there are metal water in years, there are many yang month. Can you guys follow that? Just let me know if it's too fast. So we can understand yang month with yang years with yang month might be overlap, so double effect, yang plus yang. But yang years with in month might be a little bit balanced, and the in month same. In versus in years versus in month should be the double effect of the in, but the yang month in the in years might be a little bit balanced. So if someone's chart has yang energy dominant as a dominant energy, you can be a little more careful, a little more cautious in those yang overlapped moment. And you can be a little more careful, a little more cautious in those in overlapped years if the water, metal, in energy is dominant energy for your chart. Do you know any major events or inventions that come from the yearly cycles? Yeah, there are some like metal years, especially heavenly stem. There were many events. You can watch the big picture of 2020. And there are many historical events that correspond to this 5 elemental energy as well. Big Tai Chi, small Tai Chi. Yeah, that's the... Where did you hear about that? Big Tai Chi, small Tai Chi. It's like in Master Dong's seminar. Yeah, so these are 12 years. So 6 years should be my side. 6 years should be not my side. So 6 years are good, 6 years are bad. Everybody has that aspect. And then in that 6 years, also there are yin and yang aspect. Okay? So let's go to the bigger cycle. Let's go to the bigger cycle. The great life cycle, so-called Da-yin, or 10 years luck pillar. These are composed by 10 years each. So it is not perfectly matched with 12-year cycle. These are 12, but one great cycle is only 10 years. So there are always mismatch between 10 and 12. So if the Da-yin starts from the in-wood tiger, like 6 years good and 6 years bad, you can see that yearly flow, but Da-yin's flow has added to this. It might be like that, right? So Da-yin's flow is all yang if your cycle is in those 6 characters. But in those Da-yin, there are always up and down flow. There are always in aspect. There are like yang overlapped aspect. So it is repeating. It is repeating. And if your energy is in like snake to dog, the cycle could be like that, from the fire to metal. Someone's cycle looks like this, and someone's cycle looks like that, just in aspect, metal to water. And then someone's cycle looks like that, water to wood. Yeah, it's a fractal image. These are whole flow. Somebody's Da-yin starts from dragon, somebody starts from rooster. That's all different by our individual chart. But the whole cycle of the Da-yin is 120 years. And some people just live with this yang time, and some people just experience only in aspect. And some people's life suddenly change from the yang to in, like from goat to monkey, or from the ox to tiger. That is kind of flipping between yin and yang. That's kind of big change we can experience. How does this relate to 7 and 8 year cycle for woman and man described in Yellow Emerald Classic? That's all about symbolic. That's all symbolic meaning. That 7 year and 8 year are not that accurate actually, but approximately that is a yang number versus yin number. The 7 is the number of yang that is represented as a yang number. 8 is one of the yin numbers. So the Yellow Emperor put the 7 and 8 for the men and women. So it is different, quite a little bit different from this Batsa number. Let's just make a simple, very simplifying graph. This is different from this. It is the favorable energy, favorable degree. Graph going to high. High means more preferable energy to certain chart. It goes up, it is good. And this is the flow of the great life cycle, Dayan. If we consider this is a Dayan's flow in general, if we add the yearly flow in there will be always up and down movement in favorable time or not favorable time. If Dayan is favorable, but the yearly flow could be not favorable, and the Dayan is not favorable, the yearly could be favorable. Therefore, whatever the great life cycle you are in right now, if you can understand these yearly flow, you can use those energy to know how we can prepare and act. It is similar to like the graph I showed you guys in the beginning. If you understand this is a not that bad time comparing with here, but now you know the graph is increasing here. If you understand that, you can prepare for that. And you can use this flow to do something. Here's our question. What is favorable? What is unfavorable? So what is good luck? What is bad luck? Can you guys understand about that? What can we expect these coming wood years? Yeah, wood things will happen. And if you watch my previous videos about the wood season, it will be different by each daily master. If you are born in wood day, there will be also different meaning. If you are fire, also different. If you are water, that's different. And how to interpret it when two branches connect and become another element through that. Okay, the earthly branch combination, right? Two branches connect and become another element. It is like the energy about this, right? Dragon and rooster creates a combination and become metal. Let's just think about this month energy. Tiger and the dragon create the half combination of the seasonal combination and creating wood. So the term is not that important. The important thing is these energy create what kind of energy. So it is simple. Dragon is earth, right? Dragon is earth and rooster is metal. And for some people, metal could be a Yongshin. Metal could be really a preferable energy. For some people, earth could be really preferable energy, right? Let's just assume if somebody has metal as Yongshin, and let's say earth as the dominant energy. That is also possible. Earth as a dominant energy and metal as Yongshin. So if that case, we thought this dragon comes, that means earth is coming to us, whatever 10 spirit it is, and then this Thursday, it meets rooster and then turn into the metal, which means it turns from my dominant energy to my Yongshin. So it becomes my preferable energy, my favorable energy. So it is like trick of the nature. And sometimes it looks like it will be rain today and then suddenly snow. And sometimes rain and the sunshine at the same time. It could be also possible. It is like that. If I like rainy day, I'm waiting for the rainy day and then suddenly become a snow day. So it is like that. The combinational aspect, the change of the element. It could be change of our mind. It could be change of the situation. Does it answer to your question? Let me just do the more example like that. Like you don't need to look at all the words here, but let's focus just on this dragon, Chun dragon. Chun dragon as a earth, create a combination with the tiger aspect and then becoming wood. So this metal guy, this daily master metal, thought the earth comes. So earth is mother, right? Earth is mother. Mother means input. Mother is something is nourishing me. Something is taking care of myself because earth generates the metal. Earth supports the metal. So this daily master thought, oh, now my mother is coming. Okay, now I can take a rest. Oh, now I can get some free meal, something like that. And then suddenly it turned into the wood, which means, oh, it is not my mother anymore. I thought it is my mother, but suddenly it turned into my wealth. So that kind of like tricky moment can happen with the combination aspect. And wealth is output of the output. I explained that. Child spirit is output that daily master generates. And then wealth is my output generates the wealth. So output of the output. So it's the output aspect of the daily master. Mother is input. So I expected my input is coming and then suddenly turn into my output. What I want to get for free turn into what I have to spend, like that. Thank you. The background of my question is that a 10-year pillar branch can connect with my chart and create a different element. And I don't know how to interpret it then. Yeah, it is same. We can consider this one as a 10-year pillar. No, how about this? This one is a 10-year pillar. And this is my pillar. So same thing can happen. This is what I have. And 10-year pillar suddenly comes and combine with my energy. Same thing can happen. My pillar think, oh, this is my mother. My mother is coming in this 10-year pillar, but suddenly become a wood that I have to spend as my output. Or it could be money making actually. So I want to take a rest as a mother spirit. Mother spirit is taking a rest. I don't want to work. But turning into wealth spirit, turning into wood means I have to work. I cannot really take a rest. So that kind of thing can happen in these 10 years. If we consider this is 10-year cycle, 10 years pillar. And there are a lot of interpretation. So I cannot really explain one by one. There are a bunch of combination aspect. But anyway, transform into certain element means it could be a trick and it could be suddenly work as my favorable energy. The wood can be this person's favorable energy in this time. But I want to really discuss about what is favorable, what is unfavorable, what is good, what is bad actually. What do you guys think? What is good and what is bad? Can you guys type in? Like many people think in favorable time, I don't do anything, right? Don't do anything, free stuff. And unfavorable time, I lose everything, like that. The both are wrong actually. Both are really wrong. When I observe many people in favorable time, they usually work really hard and really, really busy. And in unfavorable time, actually do nothing. Do not exercise. Spending more money in a simple way. So in favorable time, usually they work hard and really, really busy because they want to make some more money. So they cannot really take a rest. They spend this time to cultivate myself more. They spend this time to really upgrading myself. So mostly this is all about upgrading moment. And this unfavorable time is just go with flow, I would say. And just go with flow doesn't mean I'm losing everything. It is just follow the path that I'm counter to. I don't really want to do something really great because I don't want to make my life really, really busy like that kind of mind. Drink more, eat more. Here, drink more means alcohol, like that. Bad, too much or too little. Favorable time to engage because I have prepared for this. It's good time to execute. Yeah. Unfavorable, whatever I do is do it backfires. Okay. It could be, but it's not. We talk about 6 years are always favorable. 6 years are unfavorable. In Dion's flow, it's different story. Dion is more about environment. It is more about environment. And the yearly flow is what really decide the favorable and unfavorable, like in reality. So we know 6 years are good, 6 years bad. So what we can do is we can prepare ourselves in favorable time. For example, sorry for bringing all about the money aspect, but money is kind of easy to really explain. Like saving more money and try to make cash flow in favorable time. In unfavorable time, keep it. Keep the money, do not spend. That is the rule. That is the same example as this chart. If we consider this one as a favorable time, this one as an unfavorable time, we have to save money here. We have to sell all the stock we have in this moment and then try to do nothing, try not to invest anything in our unfavorable time, and then save it until here, until this moment. And then when favorable time begins again, now we have to put our money there, right? This is same logic as the flow we discussed today. And this could be money, and this could be study. Like we study more in favorable time to prepare for the unfavorable time. And there are very easy way to overcome the unfavorable time. There are really good ways to overcome the bad luck. And that is really easy and simple, and it is quite really difficult at the same time. When you meet unfavorable time, just behave, act as a favorable time. That's the main key point. In the bad time, in the unfavorable time, just live as a favorable time people, like similar to them. Follow working hard person, really busy person, like that kind of upgrading. You said time to engage, not just waiting for the good luck and then do nothing for that, and then just wait for certain time to engage something. Just do it right now. Just do it right now, even though you are in unfavorable time. That's the way, very simple way to overcome this. Favorable, if I have weak daily master, friend and mother will be favorable, right? Yes. Friendship spirit and mother spirit. Hello, Rich. Oh, I skipped this question. I'm confused why two members of my family die starting from birth to old age in the reverse order. So the Dian can go forward. For some people, it goes backward. I have to do little explanation for that. So for the Dian flow, for male chart, if the birth year is yang, the Dian goes forward. If male chart, if the birth is in, it goes backward. Female chart is opposite. If the birth year is in, the Dian goes forward. And the birth year is yang, that goes backward. And here, the yin and yang aspect is like this. Yang stems, yang branch versus yin stem and yin branch, like plus and minus. I write here, plus and minus. Yeah, the birth year is yang means yang stems, jia, bing, wu, geng, ren. If birth year is in, that means the yi wood, all about the yin wood, yin fire, yin earth, yin metal, and yin water. So female chart, same. Seems like it's not very organized today. So the male is considered as yang, and female is considered as yin. Because male is yang, if the yang as a male is born in yang year, the Dian goes forward because yang goes to yang. That is kind of flow with the rhythm. And then if male chart is yang, but the birth year is in, it goes backward because it is kind of opposite birth situation because the yang character is born in the yin energy time. And female, same. If female is in aspect, female has the in aspect, so follows in year, goes forward, the aspect of the Dian. Can you avoid unfavorable energy by practicing feng shui? A little bit, but not. I don't think that one cannot really avoid 100%. The feng shui cannot solve everything. Feng shui is just the preparing our sleeping place in a better way, so we sleep well. So and then we stay there in a healthy way. That can help our health and our mindset. But even though if we live in a good house, we do nothing, that doesn't really overcome the unfavorable energy. But in some way, living in a good house is always important. If one have yang wood, dog daily master, meet in wood rabbit 10 years, it's not friend wood, it's in wood. Would this affect money or relationship challenge, or if anything? That's quite abstract question. Yang wood dog is a daily master, and if it meets in wood rabbit, oh, so it's friendship spirit, right? It is friendship spirit. If this daily master meets in wood rabbit month, it is all about friendship spirit. But this is not enough. This is not really enough to explain all of that. This one is friendship spirit. So we can say there are two directions. There is a friendship that is same element as the daily master. And at the same time, there are several friends, energy-wise. It could be several friends, but just energy-wise, there is suddenly wood energy is increasing, and then it tries to control this wealth. So three people are focusing on one wealth. I don't know how much this person has, how much wealth element this person has, but at least if we consider just daily pillar, these friendship spirit will either become a rival, or it become a co-worker or business partner to get this money. If the wealth spirit is really big in this person's chart, those people can put their energy together to get the big money. But if the wealth is really small, this daily master has to divide by 3 the wealth. But I need a little more information. Yeah, I will create the chart reading session, chart reading live session, like once a month, so you can ask any questions there. What is the translation of Dayun? Dayun is a great life cycle. Many people used to interpret that as a 10 years luck pillar, but I don't prefer using luck or unluck. So I'm using just life cycle. And then Da means bigger or greater. So the great life cycle. It is a greater change. Original meaning of the Yun is the movement. It's a greater movement. And it is greater because it is 10 years. 10 years greater movement in here. And then year is 1 year. Can you do this example, please? And this is a male. Thank you for it. Thank you. I thought it is rivals. Or if wood is not strong, thank you. Lots to learn from you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it could be rival. It could be a friendship. And then you can watch the Baza Intermediate 1 video, the Baza Intermediate 1. I write down here. And my example is exactly the wood daily master. And I guess the title of this video was Friends or Rivals, like that. And even though it is friend, the friendship spirit, the characteristic of friendship spirit is always we have to divide the profit. There are always someone who wants to steal my wealth. Not just steal. Also, if it is a co-workers or business partner, if we work together, we have to divide what I get. We can be the same side to get the wealth first, and then after every work is done, now we divide by 2 or 3, something like that. Okay, the last question, like I really wanted to do the favorable and unfavorable energy of the 10 spirits. I think I have to make that as a video, like regular video or shorts video, or I will do in next week. The flow of 10 spirits in a healthy way and in an unhealthy way. Like for example, just to make it simple, I learn in Mother Spirit time. Now I get more self-confident, self-respect. I get more self-respect. I'm more grown in friendship time and go out using my resource to the outer world and then using my creativity as a child spirit and then get the result, whatever that is, result of art or result of the money or the romantic relationship. And then after that, I have to pay tax or pay back, or my money making make my ownership, my honor, and then come back to the mother spirit again. I learn again, or take a rest a little bit, and then if I recharge, I become more self-respect again, and then go out again, and then get the result, and then pay tax and take a rest or learn more again. So that is the kind of the normal flow of the 10 spirits. I will prepare for that more in next time, or I will make a video. How do you determine if a yang period is bad for the chart? There are many videos in my channel that explain that. So if you look at your chart, this is a different aspect as yang stem or yin stem. Just make it simple. So wood, fire are considered as a yang element. Metal, water are considered as a yin element. So if your chart has more wood and fire, your chart has more yang energy. That means like yang dominant chart. Yang element as a dominant energy, either wood or either fire. And if your chart has more metal and water, that is more yin dominant, your chart has more yin as a dominant energy. And earth is in the middle. There are several kinds of earth character that determines this earth is more yang side or this earth is more yin side. These are characters of the yang element versus yin element. So if your chart has more these characters, that determines your chart has more yang. So if your chart has more yang, meeting a yang years or yang flow again means unfavorable. If your chart is more yang characters, the yin energy could be the favorable energy. If you are really hot, you like the cooler place, right? If you are really cold, you like warmer place. It's the same analogy with that. Yeah, easy concept, hard to learn, hard to master, to apply. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's what we explained in here. Favorable and unfavorable. In favorable time, I said we usually work hard. We usually upgrade myself, cultivate myself. In unfavorable time, we used to just go with the flow, and then we do not really take care of our health like that. So that can be happen. But water can move. So how it is in water is yang element. Yeah, water is generating the wood. Water is generating wood. Water can generate the yang aspect. It is yin element, but it generates yang. So that's another step we can discuss later. Why is dog more yang since it occurs during the fall? Yeah, that's also another story. Just watch my video, 3 categories of the earthly branches, and it is the storage branch. Part 3, storage branches. So try to watch that video. And I explained about the dog as a yang aspect. It stores fire. It stores fire, so it works as a yang earth. See, I draw the circle here, small circle here, and then the fire is the red color, and then dog energy stores the fire in fall time. In fall time, before going to winter, the nature has to store the yang qi, the warmth, on the ground, and then before the animals go into the sleep, in hibernate in winter time, they kind of store a lot of energy, store a lot of food in their space. So that means they have to store those all yang energy. And that happens in the dog time. When it comes to our chart, it shows as a yang aspect. I have another meeting soon in 4 minutes, so I have to go. Let's talk more next week. Does it balance between the two in water and metal? I'm not quite sure about the question. Anyway, see you guys next week. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys next week. Okay? Bye-bye.